Alright guys, and welcome back to more Bravely Second. We are back after going into Vampire Castle, aka the Hall of Truth, and basically she spoke to T-Dog like, hey, none of that stuff is gonna work. You can't no, you gotta fight these encounters. You gotta fight these encounters, dude. You gonna have to hold that. That's exactly what she said. She said hold that. She said hold these encounters, fam. And it's funny how she was talking directly to T-Dog, because T-Dog was essentially like, is the tank. He has to be the person that has to be alive. He has to be alive. He has to be alive for this all to work. So it's funny that she said all that to T-Dog last time, because he has to be the one alive for a lot of these strategies to work. And of course she was probably just talking to, she said that to him because of his ability to lower encounters, but it's pretty funny that it's pretty funny regardless, because he's pretty much like a key component to like our strategy. He has to be alive, and then he's got the Kaiser abilities. So let's hope autosave works. Autosave should work. I mean, we can still follow our own rules as long as that works. Next potion. If autosave works, then we're still good. Let's go up. Did they turn off autosave? Yep. Nope. Talking about follow the rules. What rules? What rules? What rules? We got autosave. We got meteors. We got ghost action. Wait, what you talking about? Execute. Nah, fam. We ain't having none of this. We ain't having none of this, dude. So remind me not to accidentally do one more. If I do a one more, we're pretty much dead. Lamia's Tiara. Ooh. Sounds really good. Nullifies charm. Makes the wearer immune to charm. I think I'm going to give that to him. Simply due to the fact it gives us immunity to charm. Through a headpiece. Through a headpiece. And we only lose like, what, 8 physical defense? Yeah, that's worth it. That's totally worth it. Weapon does light attack. Oh, weapons attack do light damage. Oh, right. Alright, let's see. Let's keep going forward here. It's probably going to be like a hidden pathway, so I'm going to hug the wall to the left here. Always going to hug the wall that leads to the darkness. That's fine. Confusion shouldn't even mess us up, because as long as we're able to put on as long as we're able to put on our boss before we get confused, we're good. Because we're going to kill him in one turn. 5,000 P. Damn, I heard a dog. That dog is going crazy. That fire move got rejected. That fire move got so rejected. I don't know what he did, but he did like some kind of fire move that got reflected. Alright, here comes another event. I don't even think we have to look at it. I think we just go upstairs and bop her.
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting. But no matter, we shall keep our promise.
No.
This is the first truth.
You can't complain about us taking a while when you made us turn on these encounters.
The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber, that first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, the man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlatio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague. Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather, the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned to the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port.
Bruh.
The merry fleet sailed on for Gathlatio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who
Altair.
roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Genioja.
Oh.
Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yoko!
It took you long enough. No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathlatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father, you, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that Greed, and Greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalotio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Danny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia.
The dark hand,
But
Jackie
here,
Chan.
why not read for yourself your father's words?
Because I'm playing a video game.
You have faced two truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above. You do take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust? Very well. I shall share with you the third truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague. The first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his 5 senses in the process.
Wow.
Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette.
Right, we know about that.
So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log. As the people came to learn of the terrible crimes committed by the church, its authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
Oh yeah, can't wait to spam them meteors.
Must you always keep us waiting so? But no matter.
Whatever.
The fourth truth
Let me turn off my
awaits you.
random encounters and
We
maybe.
shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion.
The White Lion, huh? The White Lion?
The Templar Braves uprising took control of the capital of Eternia and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turned to its military might, the disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within, Greed Genealja, of one of the high houses of the Three Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Genealja and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by two powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that Greed had begun to destroy. The two houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of houses Genealja and Camlin. Almost single-handedly, he fended off waves of opponents, but in the end, he was just one man. Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard.
On
At the
guard.
same time, a young
Man.
man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion.
She went through
The
filler.
Genealja and
filler?
Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through
was funny.
bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague. Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Genealja and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace?
It all comes together. They were talking about this before.
One
From all the
tragedy giving
everybody
rise
else
to
is
the
after
next.
it.
A never-ending spiral of death and destruction. And at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella. So much pain, so much suffering. So much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Genealja.
This can't be true.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this. But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness. So ends the story of Greed Genealja. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not look so well. Mayhap the truth has taken its toll. Then I would advise you go no further. Farewell, my Minister of the Right. It has been so very delightful.
You. I'll give him this. Just like Tales of Hearts are, like you learn back. If you are invested in learning all the backstories, you're not forced to do half of this stuff. Right now, we can just be beating the game if we wanted to, and that's one of the cooler parts. Like Tales of Hearts are, like you can do the side quests if you want to know more, and then you get rewarded for doing all this stuff. Like none of this stuff is mandatory; it's optional. So it's like not that big of a deal, real talk. So I do have to say that.
Wait, I remember this blade.
The sword of the brave. I expected you sooner, but you have come, despite our warning. You need not explain yourself. When the truth sings, who can resist its siren call? Let me tell you my story. I am a presence once known as a yokai. What does the word mean? Nothing to me. I am I, nothing more, nothing less. I belong to and am beholden to no man. I have but one desire, to change this world we live in. Only those who have achieved true growth can lift the world to a higher plane, the next layer. So has the tapestry of history been woven, and so it shall continue to be. True growth means accepting all within you, seeing through the lies you tell yourself, and becoming that which you were meant to be. In that sense, one could also say, the more that is sealed away within your heart, the greater and stronger you might still grow. But few have the courage to brave the dark depths within their heart and achieve their true potential. Many have tried, and most have met with fates worse than death.
You don't take your ass back to Yokai Watch.
Oh, but there is one heart I've yet to peek within, isn't there? Let us see what you are hiding from us, Idia.
My name is Idia Lee, daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. For so long I was proud of myself, of my position, of my family. But 2.5 years ago, I turned my back on it all.
And why did you do this?
I just couldn't accept what the Duchy was doing.
Is that the whole reason?
What is this?
Or was it because you wanted to assert yourself, to claim your own identity?
This is an interview? Interview? The
Were
interview?
you seeking someone's approval? Tell me.
My father. I wanted his recognition.
Very good, Idia. Now let us go deeper. Loneliness. That is what you feel deep in your heart.
That's
Owner
not
of
true.
a lonely heart.
Of
Dun,
course it
dun.
is. You do your best to hide it, of course. You smile and play your role. But Agnes has Tiz. Magnolia has you. Musser has Brave. Eleanor has Commander Goodman. Amy and Panettone. Holly and Barris. You
Adam
see
and
their
Eve.
joy, and you feel loneliness,
Naruto and Hinata.
sadness, fear.
Sakura and Sasuke.
Stop it!
For you had someone too, But he left you far, far behind.
No, he's actually here.
You will never see him again.
No, he's here.
The one you cared for more than anyone else in this world.
I think we already
And
know
what
he's here.
hurts most of all is that he chose to leave you. You told yourself you were strong, that you would be fine on your own. Alone forever, with no one to stand
Forever
by you.
alone.
Not now, not when you grow old, not when you die. This is your truth, is it not, Idia?
I miss him. Ring a bell.
What was that?
Ring a bell?
In the flesh. I'm sorry, it isn't like me to keep a lady waiting. You, alone? Nonsense. I've always been at your side, Idia. In Geyser Grotto,
Of
in
course.
Florum,
Yup.
even in Kaldisla.
I already know.
I never forgot you, not for a fleeting moment. Don't believe me? Here, have a look at my journal.
It's always about you, isn't it? I hate you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to tease. Now, shall we return together?
Ring a bell? It's you!
You would ring a bell? That ring a bell?
The one and only. But the merry reunion can wait. I believe we have a fox to catch.
Agreed. Alright, let me go up these stairs really quick. Let's go up the stairs really quick and go right back down the stairs. And the reason why we're gonna go right back down is so we can initiate this damn auto save. And now I can go get this damn chest. Apparently it's in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. Why isn't he in my party? Why isn't Anya's in my party? Oh, she got important stuff to do. Nobody cares. Bottom left. Bruh, it was a coffin. Blood blade. Guess what? It's useless. It says useless as useless can get unless you have a setup for it. I'm not using it. I thought it would be something godlike, dude. I thought it'd be like something for armor or something I could wear. But it's useless for me. It might be a good setup for like the Dark Knight, but for me this is absolutely trash. It's absolutely trash. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Use command set. It was too obvious. It was too obvious. I mean, they gave you like forever amounts of hints, like, oh, this ring a bell, or is pretty much the one you know, because the way he acted, and then the way like they had, like, it was too obvious. They dropped too many hints. Compared to my setup right now, the Blood Blade is trash. Oh man, I don't see the Adventurer anywhere near me, dude. I think I might be running out of Inoku. Yup. We still got enough though. I should YOLO this. It's only one of them. And nah, screw that. I'm not gonna YOLO. I'm gonna play it safe. It's trash. It's garbage. Garbarino. That shit is garbage. Compared to what I got going, that's garbage, dog. Yeah, you can tell like the differences in their personalities when they talk. So yeah, definitely.
You mean Yoko?
Kano.
Precisely. Locked in battle with the Plains Wardens, my comrades.
Plains Watsons?
What are you even talking about?
I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain. I am forbidden from divulging classified information, but I will tell you what I can. We Plains Wardens are, as our name implies, the wardens of many and myriad planes of existence. That didn't quite clear things up? Allow me to elaborate. The tale would be best heard from Yoko herself, but this is one truth that fox won't be so generous about sharing. She spoke of a wish to change the world, yes? To make it a better place? She lies. She exists only to create chaos, and to revel in it.
Sounds familiar.
She uses our guilt, our sins, real and perceived, to achieve her nefarious ends. Do not listen to her deceitful words. Growing as a human being is about more than dredging up old fears and traumas. After our encounter in Geyser Grotto, I contacted my superiors.
The
Apparently,
Avengers.
Yoko has been designated by our department as an S-rank malevolent spirit of concern.
What is this dude, like a guardian of the
She's
galaxy
been
or
lurking on
something?
this planet for 4.6 billion years, give or take.
4.6?
Are you sure that information isn't classified?
The point is, I intend to defeat her and close the book on her villainy. But I'll be needing your help to chase her down, my friends.
Of course. You can count on us.
But just look at you. A Plains Warden. Whatever that is, I guess you're moving up in the world.
And you'd expect any less from me? Now, let's go catch this fox by the tail.
Aha, I get it.
No matter what the cost, I must defeat her. Yes, I must. So that none need lose another of their loved ones again.
Yoko, 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 coming for your ass, Yoko, yo, 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 Yoko, yo, Yoko. Hey, it's the adventurer. Adventurer. Ah, come on, dude. I was right next to this dude. He's better. He's higher. He's a higher tier ball buster, basically. I'm gonna put him as he's a guardian of the galaxy. He's a guardian. I'd actually, if Ringabell joined my party, I would call him Star-Lord. I would literally call him Star-Lord. We're gonna use command. No, we're gonna execute. Oh, this. them three dudes was like, nah, fam, we out. We ain't got time for these meteors. We ain't got time for this setup. We ain't got time for this shit, man. Oh, the fox is right there too. Amaterasu. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's go get this chest right up here, because it might be something really good. Safety ring. It's like they want you to have a safety ring. Like, I really wish I could equip the thing that gives them more HP. But I can't. Guess what? We're gonna probably one-turn kill her. If anything, if there's any dialogue during a fight, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna pull somebody out of Ghost. But still, we'll still be attacking at the same time, so it doesn't really matter. If she does say something, she will be forced to say it by the time we kill her. So, what I'm actually gonna do here, save the game, take a short break, split the part, and once we come back, we'll be back to defeat Yoko. Just Yoko.